make every race because I work Saturdays sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh man. And they're out there calling me out like, fucking this sumo guy never shows up.
It's alright, you show up to the more important league.
Yeah, that's it. Good evening everybody. If you are watching after the fact, then please do feel free to skip ahead to qualifying as we are just waiting for the rest of the drivers to join the lobby and get our streams ready and raring to go. We will be with you very, very shortly. Shut the old thumbnail.
Just waiting for Jamie.
Very cool.
Hello Lifebout. Hello Rick. Time for some carnage. Well, we'll see. I mean, the main motivated man today is going to be the man in the Ferrari. We have just lost someone. I don't know who just left.
Oh, it's so annoying when Chromebook always logs me out of Discord, so I have to log back in.
Oh.
But sometimes it's like, I do the QR code one because for whatever reason, every time I log in with my password and stuff, it's like, oh yeah, you got to do this captcha because you know you're a bloody robot or something.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm fucking not. Sometimes it does it when I scan the QR code though as well. It's just like, well, what's the fucking point of scanning the QR code if you're just gonna make me do a fucking captcha? Well, I know what a bloody house looks like, for God's sake, and I'm not a robot. Oh, don't. And I was using ITV Hub. Right.
Yeah.
They don't like you using an ad blocker. So you turn the ad blocker off, right? So you can avoid that problem. But even if you turn it off, you can uninstall your ad blocker. You can disable it on the site. It's insistent that you just cannot have an ad blocker, like at all. An ad blocker cannot have touched your system. Otherwise, you just can't use that website. It's just. Alan Mahitti's here to watch his potential championship slide away if his teammate manages to finish second with fastest lap or in first place. But we will discuss that a little bit more when we get in. So hello Mahitti and hello Lifebout as well in my chat as well, and to this third person who has joined us.
What's even more interesting, if Pommy gets second with fastest lap, he wins the title. I believe. Hang on, let me just verify that. I was about to say something. Yeah, if he gets second with fastest lap, he will win the title on count pack,
Wow.
which would be quite the finale.
Indeed.
Just goes to select the car. Alright, I think we're ready to go.
Ghost, what's the effect of me getting P3 in Monza after getting caught a penalty?
That's I implemented that into
There you go. There's your answer.
into the prediction. So yeah, if that hadn't happened, then Pommy wouldn't need fastest lap if he came second.
There you go then. So, good evening everybody and welcome back to APPF1 Tier 2 for tonight's dose of racing action. I'm Sumo, your commentator this evening, and joining me as always is a 5-time sprint champion and my amazing co-commentator Ghost. How you doing, buddy?
Hello mate. Yeah, it's a very exciting day today, and I'm very much looking forward to the conclusion to what has been a fantastic Tier 2 season. I can't really predict what's going to happen, to be honest. Pommy Alex's form has been a bit all over the place in the second half of the season, but if he can regain the form he had before and take the race win, he will dramatically take the title. So it's all to play for, very high stakes today. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yes, should be a good one. Our drivers take to the Yas Marina circuit on Yas Island, Abu Dhabi. 3.281 kilometre circuit with 16 corners. I can't even read this evening, it's that exciting. 9 to the left and 6 to the right make up this circuit. That is a new layout compared to the one on last year's game. The removal of a couple of chicanes has made for a more flowing track, with turns 5 and 9 being reprofiled to allow for better racing at this track. That has been the finale for Formula 1 since 2009. Any thoughts on tonight's venue, Ghost?
Wow, it's been that long, 2009, blimey.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very tough track, actually, this one. It's especially on this year's game, I find it's more difficult to keep the car on the track. The track just seems more slippery than it did last year. And yeah, I think we will see quite a few spins today. So hopefully everyone can keep it on the track, but I think we may see some errors today, but Pommy Alex will be hoping he is not one of them.
Yes, as he makes his way through the tunnel out onto the track, first car out, eager to get onto the circuit. So we turn our attention towards the championship then, and quite fittingly all eyes are on this man in that red car, Pommy Alex, as he is in his bid for his first Tier 2 championship. As I said earlier, to become the champion, the Australian must finish in first or second with the fastest lap in order to become the Tier 2 champion. Muhiti is not here tonight, although he is watching the stream. Hello again, Muhiti. So if Pommy Alex fails to do either of those things, then the Turkish driver shall be crowned the Tier 2 champion. So it will go one of two ways tonight. Battles down the grid are set to take place for the rest of the positions, with Lawrence and Steve both vying for third place in the Drivers' Championship, as well, with a lot of other battles going on up and down. And if Pommy Alex fails to score tonight, he may lose P2 to Lawrence, if Lawrence has a good result here this evening, as I was looking at the standings. The Constructors was wrapped up by Ferrari after the race at Monza last week, with Alpine set on second. Third is yet to be decided, as Mercedes and Red Bull still fight for that third spot. It's been a fantastic season of racing, and tonight may just be the jewel on top of the crown. Any insights, Ghost?
Yeah, it's going to be quite... The race qualifying is going to be very important for Pommy Alex. He needs to be right up there. He can't afford to be mid-grid in qualifying in a race like this. As Get Carter's out on his outlap. He's somehow managed to crash on his outlap. He is going to start from the back, and he's going to be very annoyed with himself for that one. That's very unnecessary. But anyway, Pommy Alex on a lap nearly goes deep at the exit of turn 3 and on towards this reprofiled part of the track, turn 4, where it used to be a chicane and then a slow corner onto this big straight. Now it's just a hairpin, and DRS open all the way down to the next part of the track. I'll let you do the second half of the lap, Sumo.
Yeah, so coming down into this chicane, very tricky on the exit here. You've really got to just try and find the grip as you come through that traction zone and into this DRS zone, down towards the second part of the reprofiling on this track. A tricky corner, actually. It doesn't look as tricky as you may think, but really nailing it will gain or lose you a lot of time, and Pommy Alex navigates it very well. Coming into now the tricky sector 3, a very important sector around this track. I think if your setup is geared towards sector 1 and 2, you're going to struggle here. You really need to try and find something that's going to fit this sector. There's a bit of debris on this circuit currently, so he must have had an incident. As he's going to come around the final corner now, Pommy Alex, our championship contender, crosses the line now, sets the initial pace of 25.2.
Mr. J-Man purple in sector 2, he might beat it straight away. JB was purple in sector 1. Mr. J-Man comes across the line, yes, 1.5 tenths faster, so Pommy Alex straight down to P2. JB is coming across the line soon. Lawrence into P3 after a really good sector 1. He had a bad time in the final sector. But JB coming across the line, can he disrupt the top? No, 25.7 from him, so again a poor sector 3. I think the struggles are going to be in that final sector in qualifying today. Very difficult to hook up correctly, especially with those reprofiled corners. It sort of tempts you to put more on the throttle and get more out of it, but in actuality it's very difficult to do so without spinning or invalidating. So yeah, that's going to be where laps are made or broken today. It doesn't really work if you say it in the past tense.
I think we found where that debris has come from. I've seen a Haas running, making their way around the track with no front wing. As of course, Chevy Thrustmaster. Nice to see him back on the track. It's been a little while since he's been with us. I don't know, I can't remember the last race. I mean, I missed 5 races, so it's probably in one of those. But anyway, tonight's action is once again brought to you by Positive Perception Media Design Products. If you love seeing cool livery designs as much as I do, then please do head over to their socials and make sure you show them all the love and support that you show us here at Tier 2 as something's going on a little bit further along.
SMI having a spin in the final sector. He's got to be careful not to get in the way of the Mercedes lap, and doesn't, thankfully. And spins it around to get back in on the circuit. But yeah, Get Carter is in my chat. He says he feels a bit silly, and I don't blame him.
Well, yes, there are 7 people watching right now, only 1 like. What's going on with that? Get some likes on the stream, everybody, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We've already met the 100 subscribers mark, so we achieved that goal this season, but get some more likes on there really does help us out. And of course do the same over on Ghost's onboard stream as well, as you've got an extra few perspectives to watch the qualifying and the race from, as well as LB comes around on an out lap as well. The McLaren of Lalo is about to start a lap, I think. Yeah. Lalo, known for his strange strategy calls in changeable conditions, well, watches the McLaren make his way around. And I've actually had a little look, Ghost, at the season predictions.
Oh yeah.
Coming back
too much curb for
spin.
Lalo at turn 3. Very, very easy to do on the inside. And he's going to have to go again. But yeah, go on, Simon.
Well, we tend to look at Constructors' Championship season predictions. Do you remember what you said, Ghost?
I don't remember what I said.
Red Bull. That's what you said. And my prediction was Ferrari, so I've got that one in the bag, it seems, as LB makes his way around for Red Bull, setting a purple fast sector 1, but of course it's first run of the evening, so it won't...
I can confirm it is actually purple though this time.
It is actually purple though, so the telemetry is coming in handy. But we're split, Ghost, on the 2 Ferrari drivers for Drivers' Champion. I went with Pommy, of course, him being my favourite Tier 2 driver, although I can't have any favourites. And Muhiti being your prediction there, Ghost, as well.
Well, mine's looking pretty good, but if Pommy Alex can take out the bag today, absolutely fair enough. That would be a fantastic effort. LB is purple as well in Sector 2, but Crozer has just beaten him in Sector 1, his teammate. Purple in the first part of the lap, so the Red Bull's looking good in this part of qualifying. Yeah.
Charging their way around this Yas Marina circuit, 2 corners to navigate for the Red Bull, flat out through that penultimate one. Then as quickly as you can through that final run and get on the powers early to that short run to the line. It's a 24.3 from LB. That is a mighty lap.
certainly is. He's got the controller out.
Yeah, he certainly has.
And yeah, he's bottled it in Tier 1 just to get into Tier 2 and just to win everything again, honestly. No, but his teammates coming around now, not purple in Sector 2, Crozer, but it's still looking like a decent lap, although it's very deep in the final corner. That's going to cost him quite a lot of time, and 4th place Crozer in the end, but LB is going to take some beating after he said, "Oh, I've had no practice, it's going to be horrible today."
Oh dear, sometimes no practice is a good thing, as too much practice can really throw you off, as I've found out many a time in my league racing career, I suppose. Where are we? Who is out on a lap right now? There's a Haas coming around on a lap. Lawrence.
Tito Man is purple in Sector 1, Sumo.
Yeah, I've just spotted that on the track map there as well.
It'd be quite a shock if he can get himself onto pole. Nothing against him, but he hasn't really been in contention for pole this season thus far, so would be quite the performance if he managed it. Femi coming across the line now to end his first lap of the session.
A decent time from the Haas. Wow. It is his P3 at 25.2 from Femi Thrustmaster in that white Haas car. Here comes our championship contender again. He's on a slow lap at the moment, so keep an eye on that Ferrari. Mr. J-Man just behind him. I think he's on a lap. He's 3/10 up, so he could break into the 1 minute 24. So no, he's not. He's down on his time actually as he's come through. Must have made a mistake further along in the lap.
Yeah, he was green in sectors 1 and 2, but must have made a mistake in 3. Tito Man coming across the line. It does look really good, but it's down in P6 in the end. Mr. J-Man's retired. That's at turn 2. Just caught a little bit too much curb. Again, really easy to do, so he won't be improving. And Tommy Alex might smell an opportunity for a front row start.
So here comes the Ferrari down that straight there. We'll keep an eye on his times as he goes along. None of it matters about to start a lap. There's a Mercedes out on a lap as well. APPF1 still yet to venture out onto the circuit. Here comes JBS Steve. Better lap time for the Mercedes. It is a little bit. It puts him up into P5 ahead of one of the Red Bulls of Krauser. Mercedes and Red Bull in a fight for P3 in the Constructors' Championship. So keep an eye on those cars.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got SMI improving in Sector 1. Pommy Alex is improving as well. He's coming to the end of his lap. Now in Sector 3 he is on the last 2 corners, but he's up by over 2/10. So he could get himself up onto the front row as Lalo goes very deep at turn 5, I believe.
Comes Australia, yes. 24-7 P2 for Pommy Alex at the moment. But still 4 tenths away from LB in that time. Oh, 1 minute 24.3. Is it untouchable? I don't know. Can anybody unlock the place? Get classed as a big hitter who has retired early in the session, so perhaps not. But I'm sure somebody can find the time out there. How about debutant SMI podium on his first outing here in Tier 2? A potential strong contender for next season, which would be season 6. Starting next year, as his teammate is teammate has a little spin, almost getting in the way. Thankfully he was ghosted there, as I'm sure that might have thrown him off his stride. But here he comes to McLaren, 26.2, not the best lap.
Yeah, no, he lost a lot of time in Sector 2 and I think Sector 3 as well, quite possibly being distracted by his spinning teammate. Would not surprise me. But yeah, looks like everyone in the pits at the moment, apart from Tommy Alex, so everyone waiting to go for their final run in this session. It is LB on pole at the moment, but the man of the moment, the Australian Tommy Alex, is in 2nd place. He'll be very happy with a front row start, I am sure, and it's looking really good for exactly that.
Yeah, certainly. So a front row or a pole position would do him wonders here, but there might be a few other drivers who can have their say at the front of the grid at the moment, although Mr. J-Man being out of the session as well. That's another quick driver in these qualifying sessions out for the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been on fire recently, Mr. J-Man. The second half of the season, very, very desperately unlucky last week. Really should have had a fantastic shot at winning that race, but just things didn't go his way with the changeable conditions and the safety cars, and he ended up all the way down in 6th, I believe it was. So he'll be hoping for redemption today, but a crash in qualifying is not going to help his chances. He does have a decent 1.5 tenth gap to Femi.
Oh, SMI.
He's been doing a lot of that this session.
I see. It's easy to overshoot that pit entrance, to be honest. Jamie F1 is doing a very risky strategy. He's not made his way out onto the circuit yet, and no banker time on for the Mercedes. No time for Lalo Mado either. He had not for lack of trying. He's out on track now. Yeah, Jamie F1 maybe a late call, wanting that track evolution on his one and only run in this session.
Absolutely. Yeah, he needs a lap. Just needs a lap. Get to the line, and you won't be last. That's the key for Lalo Mado. Because at the moment, Get Carter, of course, will be last as long as everyone sets a lap. Although Jamie F1, still no signs of the Mercedes coming out the pit lane. So I don't know if he plans to set a lap or if he's absent for qualifying. All speculation, but yeah, he's at the moment still in the pits, along with most of the other drivers on the grid. I think we're going to see a lot of people coming out the pits in the next 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, Lalo Mado is going to be the first driver to start his final run here. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Still no Mercedes making its way out of the pit lane at the moment. Is there a Mercedes making its way out of the pit lane? There is a Mercedes making its way out of the pits.
That's JB.
But it's JB actually, so never mind. So JBF1 not likely to set a lap, but here we go then. Lalo Mado down the main straight. At the moment, down towards that chicane in the McLaren. Just got to put a time on the board. No mistakes for car number 34, and he will find himself not last.
That was a good save out of, I believe that's turn 6 from Lalo, as he backs off, in fact. Backs off, so he's going to go again right at the end, which is very risky. You're going to have worn tyres, but I suppose at least he will get across the line and put a time on the board, which will put him in front of Get Carter. So yeah, at least he will manage that. JB on a lap. He is improving by quite a lot, actually. 3/10 after sector 2, but he's lost it. He's out. He is out the session. Too much out of that corner. It's so easy to do on this reprofiled track, to do exactly that in that specific corner. Yeah, he has paid the price there. But look who is 2.5 tenths up in sector 1. It's Pommy Alex.
Pommy Alex then coming for that time that LB has set down.
Oh no.
On there, and he goes very, very wide. He's not invalidated, but he will have had to back off in order to not invalidate that lap. Lawrence is retired from the session as well, crashing at turn 2. That's another heavy hitter out for the count in this qualifying session. Round comes the Ferrari then, one final time, and he's invalidated the lap, so no luck for Pommy Alex, and he's going to come straight into the pit lane. So no, can anyone touch LB's time at the moment? LB got Krauser crossing the line to start a lap at the moment. Who's coming across the line next? Femi will be your next driver to cross the line. Final couple of corners, but it's not going to be a great lap from the hash, but he'll have time to go again as he's close enough to the line, just about 10 seconds left in this session. LB then making his way through sector 3. Can he improve on his time though? He's backed off. Yellow flag, and I think that's going to be his qualifying session done and dusted. How about Lalo Mado then, looking to get a much more competitive time on the board and maybe break a little bit further into the top 10. Coming around the final couple of corners now is the McLaren. A 31.3 at the moment. It's going to be a 24.3 as he goes on to pole position.
pole by 3,000ths of a second. What a lap from Lalo. He's been nowhere all session. Where on earth does that come from? Femi Thrustmaster in the Haas, he's improving as well. Crozer is basically exactly on his previous time. We'll see if he can improve in Sector 3, but Femi Thrustmaster improving in Sector 1. How is his time going to be in Sector 2? Coming up to the line now. No, he's not really improving. It's pretty much bang on his previous time again, so it's all about Crozer. Can he find something special in this final sector? Not like that, he can't. Very deep at the final corner and doesn't improve. So it's all about Femi Thrustmaster. Can he find something truly remarkable here in the final sector? He's very squirmy though out of that corner. Final 2 corners for the Haas. What can he do? Can he get himself any further up the grid? To the line he comes. It's a 25-2. He's improved but not enough to beat Mr. J-Man, and he will remain 5th.
Wow. Very close margins at the top there, and Lalo Mado taking pole position. I'm not sure if he's had any pole positions before here in Tier 2. Ghost will correct me if I'm wrong, but what an incredible lap from the McLaren, who struggled the entire session and managed to snatch pole by the smallest of margins, 3,000ths of a second. He will join LB on the front row of the grid, with our championship contender Pommy Alex and Mr. J-Man occupying row number 2. Femi Thrustmaster, a decent showing from him in P5, with JBS Steve joining him in P6 on that 3rd row. Krauser and Tito Man in position 7 and 8, with Lawrence and SMI rounding off the top 10, with Jamie F1 and Get Carter not setting lap times.
Yes, indeed. Get Carter is going to be hoping for a better race than in qualifying. Binning it on your outlap is not going to do any good for his confidence at all. But SMI has just said in the Discord that he picked the wrong setup, so that might explain him being off the pace. But he's still not that far off at all, and he should still have a decent race. But we're going to wait for the grid to form up. No formation laps, so we'll get underway straight away as soon as the clock ticks down at the top.
Well then, Pommy Alex is in a decent enough position. He's in P3 at the moment, and he's got to finish in P2 with that fastest lap, or in 1st place. Can he do it? He's got a Red Bull and a McLaren to navigate in the first couple of corners, as well as the treacherous opening lap of the race.
This is going to be quite the spectacle. I can't wait. Watch that Scarlet Ferrari. It's all about Pommy Alex. Can he do anything at all in this session to wrestle the title away from his teammate today? He's going to need something special. A championship winning performance is going to be needed from the Australian as we're about to get underway.
Here we go then. We got 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights for the final time in Season 5. And we're underway for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the finale here, and it looks like Mr. J-Man's got an incredible start. He's looking to challenge Pommy Alex. There's a huge incident. Pommy Alex is in the wall at the moment as well. I'm not sure, there's a lot of carnage going on back there. LB spun around. Pommy Alex has somehow got out of this with just wing damage, and there's a safety car already on this opening lap. I'm not exactly sure what happened there at all, and we're going to have a look and see what I can see on the replay.
What on earth was that? I'm not going to call it before I've seen it, but Jamie F1 is up to P3 from last, so I have a sneaking suspicion he had something to do with it. Maybe too late braking into turn 1, or maybe something else entirely. I am not sure, but a lot of carnage, a lot of drivers without front wings. We've got Femi Thrustmaster, Lawrence, Mr. J-Man has side pod damage, and Crozer also has minor front wing damage, so that's 4 cars with damage in this opening lap. What on earth happened there? I do not know.
Well, the angle wasn't too great, but it's good enough that I can get some sort of view of what had happened here. So Mr. J-Man had got an incredible start from here and was challenging LB and Pommy Alex, and the two of them have gone into this corner, and that door has inevitably closed on J-Man. who has been squeezed in the middle, which has brought LB over, all 3 of those cars over to the left hand of the track, almost collecting the other Red Bull. I think JBS Steve, or I think, no, that's Femi Thrustmaster, wasn't expecting that to happen, and went straight into the back of Mr. J-Man. JBS Steve was actually in the best place. He was just able to sneak underneath all of the carnage and get himself up into P2 there at the moment. So the driver's a little further back, avoiding that carnage, but drivers coming together on the first lap. You can see it if you go back on the stream and just slow it down. You can see that the Red Bull is collected by the Williams, which then collects the Ferrari as well, and all 3 of them go hurtling into that wall.
Well, it's a perfect start for Mercedes. They are running 2 and 3 right now. Lala Maddo also obviously getting away with it from pole position. I do have intel from the chat. Femi Thrustmaster has said that his brake didn't kick in, so that has added to the carnage at the start there. From what you were saying, Sumo, it was already starting to happen before even Femi ploughed into anyone, but I assume that didn't help. Yeah, what a chaotic start to the finale of Tier 2 Season 5. Pommy Alex now got a lot of work to do, but will be thankful for the safety car.
Yeah, Lala Maddo got an incredible start as well. He was completely unchallenged as well. The 3 cars going together only helped his cause, but look at that. Jamie F1 up 8 positions and not setting a lap in qualifying has really helped him out here, as he's been able to hurtle his way up the front because of incidents further up. But Pommy Alex's mountain becomes ever higher as he finds himself in P8 at the moment, catching up to the back of the safety car queue.
Long way to go in this race. Abu Dhabi is a long race, if I remember rightly. It doesn't quite rival Singapore in terms of length of time that it takes, but I do believe it's quite a long race. We've got sort of 1.5 minute laps or so. What are the laps around here? It's something like 1 minute 20 or so. It was 25, wasn't it, or so?
Yeah, 24s or 25s in the qualifying, so probably about 25, 26.
Yeah, and with 29 laps, yeah, that is quite a long race. So long way to go in this one, and thankfully also, thanks to the update last Monday, Pommy Alex has been able to strap on a fresh set of mediums, because we can do that now, thank goodness. So he's not really lost, well, he's lost a bunch of positions, but he hasn't lost his strategy, and he hasn't lost his head. So yeah, a long way to go in this one. Anything can still happen.
Yeah, LB and Lawrence on the hard tyres. They're going to be looking to go a lot further, possibly to the end. That would be bold. I'd probably wager they'd go on to softs for another stint later in the race. But the safety car really did help those guys in the incident. And it's quite fortunate that nobody had terminal damage, although there may be some irreparable damage on some of the cars, but you don't know.
Very much so. I can say there's irreparable damage on Mr. J-Man's car, unfortunately. He has side pod damage, but everyone else seems okay according to the telemetry. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, Mr. J-Man will feel hard done by that one. But it happens sometimes, and I think Femi, hopefully he's got his brakes sorted out now.
Hopefully so. Lalo Maddo then leading us around. Then he is warming up those medium tyres, the yellow-walled rubber, to get this race back underway and restarted. He's just got to wait for that safety car to pull into the pit lane. Lalo Maddo currently leading the race. I'm not sure on his other race statistics in terms of leading, but I think he has. No, he's not gone yet. Now he has, catching the Mercedes off guard a little bit there and getting this race back underway, really catching him sleeping as Jamie F1 almost loses control of the car. Vito Man is going in for on Get Carter here, but no move for the Alpine at the moment, as well as they all go single file through into the next couple of corners.
Yeah, just watching Tommy Alex, he couldn't quite take advantage of the restart, but he's perfectly fine. And SMI going up the inside of Mr. J-Man could open an opportunity for Tommy Alex just behind, but they're still side by side. Mr. J-Man holding it all the way around the outside. Impressive driving from the Williams, and he keeps the place for now.
Yeah, Get Carter on the attack as well on Jamie F1 as they come down into this chicane. At the moment, the inside line for the AlphaTauri, but no way through at the moment. Going to look to go underneath the Mercedes if he can get the better exit.
Oh,
he does look
SMI's
like he's
out.
got a much better exit. SMI out of the session a little bit further back. We're watching this battle between Get Carter and Jamie F1 as they come hurtling down towards turn 9. The Mercedes has got the inside line and the much shorter run through this very long corner, but Get Carter goes for the switcheroo as well, side by side as they continue. There's a battle along as well, and outside line now again for the AlphaTauri, trying to go the long way round. Outside becomes the inside, and it looks like position 3 for the AlphaTauri, but the Mercedes is going to continue to fight this. They're continuing to go side by side. This is incredible racing through this flat out corner now. The Mercedes up ahead again. Great stuff from these two as Get Carter has settled for P4 as Jamie F1 has put on a mighty defence.
That's fantastic defensive driving from Jamie F1. What a battle between those two. I have to say as well, SMI somehow still in the session. I do not know how. I thought he was a goner. He hit that wall so hard, but he is still in it. Mr. J-Man also has a spin, so he's down to P10, which promotes Pommy up to P6. And behind this 3-car battle as he goes for the overtake on Tito, man, takes advantage of a poor line. That was very risky with the championship on the line, but Tito has the better speed out the corner and he keeps the place. Get Carter going for it again on Jamie further up, but backs out of it at the last second. Maybe trying to scare Jamie into a late braking and then get him on the switchback, but Jamie having none of it. But now
getting a much better exit out of the chicane. Sorry, Ghost, as he's gone straight past Fido, man, and Get Carter's now on the attack as well. A little bit further ahead, action all over the place at this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix at the moment, and Jamie F1 and Get Carter continuing their battle where they left it off before, but Get Carter almost losing the car.
I was riding on board with that. What a save from Get Carter. Somehow kept it on the road. But it's allowed Pommy Alex to really close up. That was 1.8 seconds. It's now 1.3 as they come through the final sector. And Pommy is not done yet, but Lalo Maddo with a 4-second lead already now. He's really taking advantage of all this battling and extending his lead, much to the dismay of Pommy Alex, I'm sure.
Yeah, and it looks like Mercedes are really well set up to claim P3 in the constructors at the moment. Both Red Bulls are currently in
Jamie with a mistake.
11. Oh, here comes Get Carter once again. Jamie, a mistake from Jamie. They're going to go side by side into this hairpin as well. There's contact and Jamie's been sent round. Luckily still in the race with no damage, but he's going to drop like a stone all the way behind Femi Thrustmaster and Krauser now as well.
Two Alpines battling as well. Lawrence and Tito swapping places on the straight. Simple move for Tito, but yeah, I don't think there was really anything in that. It's difficult to tell on first viewing, of course, but I do think it was just a bit of an unfortunate coming together in the braking zone, but I'm sure we'll see it later on. Pommy Alex 1.4 seconds behind Get Carter. He needs to close that gap right now.
Yeah, he certainly does. He's really got to put the pace on it. It looks like he's doing just that. He's really making use of that ERS that he's got spare at the moment, but he doesn't want to use too much of it as he may struggle to recover that later in the race. But he's already within a second of Get Carter at the minute, but that little trip wide of the track limits there setting a little bit further back, but he's going to continue his attack and he has got some pace under that Scarlet Ferrari and he is really putting the pressure on.
He certainly is. JB under huge pressure from Get Carter, but there's no ERS on that AlphaTauri. There's a little bit left, but that will be gone straight away as soon as he presses the overtake button. And Pommy Alex now, he's got to look behind him because that Ferrari is hungry for P2. He knows he needs P2 and fastest lap in order to take this title, as Mr. J-Man's gone again at turn 3 and manages to keep it going. Thankfully, but yeah, he is going to be disappointed with how this race has gone so far.
Here comes Get Carter. He's making a move on the other Mercedes now, up the inside of the chicane. Great stuff. Oh, and Pommy Alex, the opportunistic send around the outside, getting a much better exit on the Mercedes. That was some incredible move.
Where did that come from? I do not know. Through goes Pommy Alex is the call. But yeah, the Ferrari up to P3 already and challenging Get Carter for second already. You can see the flashing red light on the back of that AlphaTauri. He knows Get Carter is going to be vulnerable on the straight, and the Australian looking really good here. 4.6 seconds is the gap to Lalo Mado, but I think honestly these guys look faster than him. I think JB was holding them up quite a lot. So that gap, I think, is going to start coming down.
Yeah, possibly as well. I think JBS Steve was struggling a little bit, and it seems Get Carter's trying to pull away, but the lack of ERS on that AlphaTauri is really going to play into Pommy Alex's hands at the moment, and he's just going to stay with the AlphaTauri for the time being. The midfield seems to be heating up a little bit further back as well, but we'll watch as Pommy Alex puts in the drive of his life, as Rick says in my chat.
What a restart it's been after being clattered at turn 1. He must have been so disappointed to keep his head in the game like he has done and get all the way back up to P3 so quickly, taking advantage of others' mistakes, but also a fantastic move on JB. Nearly hits the back of Get Carter. Wow, very late braking into that chicane, but yeah, Pommy looking very strong here. And that gap has not actually come down to Lalo, but it stayed roughly the same. Mr. J-Man spins again, and into the pits he goes as Get Carter takes a very different line to Pommy through that reprofiled left-hander, but the Australian unable to take advantage quite yet. Is he going to go for a send? No, he goes wide instead. So the Australian desperately looking for a way through here. Another mistake from Get Carter. That AlphaTauri looks all over the place, Sumo.
Yeah, certainly does. Probably feeling the pressure from Pommy Alex. He knows, Pommy Alex knows he's in a vulnerable position as the AlphaTauri, and so does the AlphaTauri know that as well at the moment. He's keeping the Ferrari at bay at the moment, but I think it's only a matter of time before Pommy Alex finds a way past.
Quite possibly, but Get Carter looks stronger in this first sector than the Ferrari, so that's going to nullify Pommy's advantage with DRS down this really long back straight. He's going to have the DRS enabled, but 7/10 is the gap. Not going to be able to make a move unless he goes for something quite remarkable. Get Carter trying to break the slipstream further up, but Pommy just sticking in his line, not taking any risks at all. And down towards the chicane they go.
Semi-Thrustmaster down the inside of Fido Man at the moment at the chicane. I think Fido Man's just managed to fend him off at the moment as his teammates now trying to find a way through as well. This could open the door up for Jamie F1, who's just behind the Haas now, as both Alpines get themselves ahead of Femi after Femi attacked the other Alpine, and in comes Lawrence as well into turn 9 at the moment. All 5 cars very close to each other through this corner. Jamie is looking for a way around the Haas at the minute, but can't find a way through. Lawrence leads this fight for P5 at the moment, coming through sector 3.
And Femi with a mistake. Oh, a bit of contact, Jamie. Bit of wheel banging between the two, but I think nothing in that really. Jamie trying to go around the outside of a difficult corner. Pommy Alex is right on the back of Get Carter here at that final corner, but unable to do anything into turn 1. But the Australian looking good, and look how much that gap has come down to Lalo Mado, Sumo. It's 3 seconds.
Yeah, Lalo Mado really being reeled in by these two. These two have been unleashed after getting past JBS Steve, and are now cruising their way, but charging their way forward towards Lalo Mado in the lead, and Femi off the circuit at the moment. That is going to be a shame for the Haas. It's been looking good this evening. Hopefully he can get himself back into the fighting as well. Krauser finds himself on the back of this train as well. LB will be hoping to get on the back of this fight for P5 at the moment, with JBS Steve in the middle of it in no man's land.
Much better exit for Get Carter. Pommy just a bit cautious there. Didn't want to go into the back of the AlphaTauri. His worst nightmare would be to win this race and lose it in the steward's room. But Get Carter very deep, and down the inside goes Pommy Alex into second place. And there's a 3.6 second gap between him and the place he needs to be to win this championship, as Lawrence has now lost it. in that left-hander. He's going to be gutted with that. Down to P9 he goes, but Pommy Alex up to second place, 3.4 seconds. Keep an eye on that gap.
Yeah, certainly so. Pommy Alex is going to look to try and break away from Get Carter as much as he can now. Much more battery in the tank, about double the amount Get Carter has at the minute, but he is saving it now. So he could continue to challenge Pommy Alex, which wouldn't help Pommy's charge towards Lalo Maddo at the minute, but keep an eye on that gap at the moment, and we'll keep an eye on this battle as it continues to develop right now. Jamie F1 falling outside of a second from Fido, man. That's not going to help him coming down the straight. He's got to keep Krauser at bay at the moment. So the Red Bulls actually reeling in their championship contenders, rivals now, but the Mercedes would still take P3 if the race were to finish like this.
They absolutely could, and they're looking good at the moment, despite Jamie F1's spin earlier. Get Carter right behind Pommy Alex now, and he could make the move. They've lost a lot of time to Lalo Maddo again, and Get Carter is back into P2. A bit of maybe a mistake, or just not quite as fast as he could be. Pommy Alex trying to sweep all the way around the outside, backs out of it. Championship on the line. He is not going to go down the inside into this part of the track, but he's hit the Alpha Tauri. Get Carter keeps it on the track. Pommy Alex's heart must have been in his mouth just then, but down to P3 he is now, and he's going to have to keep fighting to get this one. 5 seconds is the gap to Lalo Maddo, who is managing this race wonderfully. You've got to say, Mr. J-Man retires in the pit lane, so that will not be any sort of safety car. But Get Carter trying to open up the gap now to Pommy.
Yeah, certainly so. No safety car from that at the moment. How did no one DNF? I don't know how nobody DNF in that turn 1 incident, Muhiti, but it's very thankful that nobody did. It's a shame, though, that Mr. J-Man has retired. I think that side pod damage becoming a little bit too much for the Williams.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, especially around here. There's so many high-speed corners that you're really going to feel some bodywork damage like that. Pommy Alex right behind this Alpha Tauri once again, as he looks to make this move as soon as he can. I think maybe there was just a mistake from Lalo that brought that gap all the way down to where it was before, because it's gone all the way back up to 5 seconds again. These two maybe working together, but again a different line from Get Carter, and Pommy Alex sees the opportunity. Almost contact between the two of them, but Get Carter might have to start thinking about the line he takes around that corner, because every lap he opens the door for the Australian.
Yeah, he certainly does, and look how close Pommy Alex is. He's practically in the gearbox of that Alpha Tauri coming through the third sector now. He's definitely much faster in that Ferrari at the moment, but he can't. He's got to break out of that DRS at the moment. Lalo is into the pits, so an early stop going for the undercut. JBS Steve is following him into the pits as well.
Certainly is. So the pit stops have begun. JB onto the hards, Lalo onto the mediums. Wait, surely not. Lalo's on the mediums. He's doing a 2-stop sumo. Really, really interesting. This is the first time we've seen it this season, obviously with the change with 2 sets of medium tyres that we have now. The 2-stop is possible. Is it faster though? We'll have to wait and see. But Lalo, if he has made one of his what is now infamous strategy blunders once again, this could be the battle for the lead, and it could be the battle for the championship. Get Carter versus Pommy Alex. Obviously Get Carter not involved in the championship battle, but Pommy Alex needs to get past him, and I don't think Get Carter is going to let him through just because it's for the championship.
Yeah, certainly so. He's entitled to be on the track, same as Pommy Alex, and he's entitled to fight for every position that he finds himself in. So who has FL? Who has fastest lap? That is interesting.
Lalo.
Look, it's Lalo at the moment.
Yeah, by quite some margin actually. Yeah, as that's Get Carter in, Pommy Alex follows him. I think Pommy made the decision based on Get Carter coming in. As Get Carter gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. How crucial is that going to be? That promotes Pommy Alex into first place. where's Lalo Mato? They're both onto the hard tyres, so they don't think the two-stop is viable. Lalo is going to retake the lead, but he's going to have to stop again, Sumo. And it could all be on Lalo, because Get Carter, with that penalty, is going to drop behind Pommy. 5 seconds, I don't think he has that kind of margin on the Ferrari. So this race just got very interesting. Pommy Alex has got a real shot at this.
Yeah, he certainly does. And Lalo with this interesting strategy call as well. Of course, he has to go onto a different set of the tyres as well. So he'll probably come into softs towards the end of the race. So a very interesting call indeed. I mean, the tyres are infamously well worn around this circuit, as LB and Krauser are fighting a little bit further ahead at the moment. These guys have not come into the pits yet, as LB finds his way into P2 at the moment, chasing after Jamie F1 in that Mercedes.
Certainly is. Those two Red Bulls looking good. They're not in contention for the victory, but they could be for a podium if anything happens to Get Carter, Pommy or Lalo. Get Carter very deep there at that long left-hander, but manages to keep it on the road. But Pommy is going to know he doesn't need to get past this AlphaTauri now. Another mistake from Get Carter, keeps it on the road. I don't know how he's keeping all of these moments where he loses the rear under control. Lalo retakes the fastest lap. I think that's going to be out of Pommy's control because he's going to be on the softs later on, as you say, Sumo, Lalo Mato. And I don't think Pommy is going to have a chance at fastest lap unless there's a late safety car. So he has to win this race.
Yeah, certainly. What Lalo Mato needs to do is use that medium tyre to his advantage and try and pull out the biggest gap he can possibly pull out, in order to, when he does come in, he'll have less of a gap to close down once he goes onto the soft tyres at the moment, or come out ahead of these two if they continue to fight as they have been at the moment. And they're coming up behind Femi Thrustmaster now as well, so Femi could get involved in this. He's entitled to be where he is at the moment as well. No blue flags for that Haas car, so these guys are going to have to get past him.
Oh, Get Carter goes to the inside. He won't be happy with that defensive move from Femi, but he's back up the inside. He takes the place. Is Pommy Alex going to follow him through? Femi very deep. Here comes the Ferrari. Femi is right there. Pommy's not going to take that risk, as Femi right around the outside. Here comes Pommy Alex around the outside. This didn't work last time for Jamie. Is it going to work for the championship challenger? Yes, it is. What a move from Pommy Alex, up to P5 and stays in the DRS of Get Carter. How crucial was that, as Femi dives into the pit lane thinking, I've had enough of getting involved in championship battles for one day.
Pommy Alex has been taking notes from my early league racing career. I've done that exact move way back before we even started the tiers. I remember doing that. That was a great fight from P4.
I mean, if he wins the championship today, this is a champion's drive from Pommy Alex. There's no doubt about it at all. And Get Carter with that 5-second penalty, but he's got no ERS. Here comes Pommy. He's using the energy. Down the inside he goes. Nothing Get Carter can do. He's got nothing left in the tank. Pommy Alex up to P4. And that is a net P2. But of course, Lalo has to stop again, as do, of course, the two Red Bulls.
Lalo Mato has, meanwhile, as that move was happening, made his way past Krauser, and it's now the meat in a Red Bull sandwich in the top 3 there at the moment, as Pommy Alex is the fastest middle sector.
Oh, wow. Pommy Alex looking very, very strong right now. He does indeed, yeah, fastest middle sector from the Ferrari, and he's looking to get rid of this AlphaTauri. He's got much more ERS in the tank, and Get Carter has no answer, and with that 5-second penalty, he is just nowhere in this battle at the moment. It's all Pommy Alex, and Lalo Mato has to be absolutely electric on his final stint, as Pommy Alex sets the fastest lap on the hard tyre.
Wow, what a lap for Pommy Alex. That DRS and the ERS really helped him out there. Let's have a look.
Lalo down the inside. Lalo down the inside of LB. He takes the place Into P1 he goes again. LB is going to be right there, but no DRS on your wagon. And he's going to be down to P2. Nothing to say to Lalo Mado there. But of course that McLaren has to pit again. And a strategy blunder could it be once again? It remains to be seen. But those softs are going to degrade so fast. I can't see how he can get all that gap back.
No, certainly. So the question is, when does he come in? It looks like it might be somewhere around lap 23 or lap 24 in order to get the most out of that soft tyre. But if we look at the gap to leader at the moment, Tommy Alex is only 6 seconds down the road.
Yeah, he's looking very good. Is the Ferrari, and how much do you lose in the pit lane around here? About maybe 25 seconds. It is quite a lot because there's a tunnel and everything. So Lalo is going to have to pull out something special to win this race now. And Tommy Alex now getting in range of Crozer. The Red Bull right in front of him. They are all rivals, these two. They were racing very hard last season. Crozer's been a bit off the pace this season on the new game, but here they go again. Tommy Alex nearly in DRS range of that Red Bull.
It's about 22 seconds lost in the pit lane.
Okay. Interesting. That's a lot less than I thought, actually. So Tommy is in DRS range. He's not going to have it on this straight though, but he, I'm sure, will have it on the next DRS straight. Get Carter does have it though. Could the AlphaTauri make a move? Look at that closing speed from Get Carter. He decides against that particular dive bomb into that left-hander, and Tommy Alex keeps the place. He will have DRS, will he? There's no DRS on the Ferrari, so a mistake from Tommy. I'm not sure what's happened there, but no DRS for him, and Get Carter right behind still.
I don't remember that being a double DRS sense, so maybe an issue with the game perhaps.
Yeah.
Not giving him the DRS when he should have it. But yes, these two still going, and that 5-second penalty. It could be
Tommy down the inside!
Here.
Makes the move again, an opportunistic move from Tommy.
LB spun.
Oh, LB is round at the penultimate corner. He's definitely going to come in this lap, I would have thought. Get Carter now makes his way past Crozer, who is still yet to pit. Red Bull's not going to fight that one, and Get Carter back up to P3. It is a net P3, but Lalo still has to pit. 7.4 seconds is the gap to the McLaren.
Yeah, Tommy Alex does love a little move through those two corners underneath the hotel there. Great little split stuff. So 7.5 then is the gap between Lalo Mado and Tommy Alex. Tommy does seem the faster of the two cars out at the moment. Perhaps those mediums are starting to struggle a little bit, whereas the hards can go that little bit longer. Get Carter, it's not going to make it easy for Tommy Alex, but I don't think with that penalty as well, Get Carter will have much else to say, and very little DRS in the tank as well.
And I think that was a freakish lap from Tommy, the fastest lap, the 26.8 that he did, because his last lap was a 29.1. Lalo Mado's last lap was a 27.9. So the McLaren definitely faster overall, but Tommy Alex doing everything he can. I just also want to mention Crozer. He's still on those medium tyres. Surely he's not going to the end. I'm not sure which tyre he started on, but he was involved obviously in that crash at the beginning and had to pit. But if he is going to the end, that's going to be quite the stint for the Red Bull. But he's staying out again. He might be trying it, or he's going to go on the softs at the end as LB retires. Is that going to be a safety car? It is!
It is!
Oh my word! Lalo Mado has been handed a massive lifeline. He's going to be able to pit onto a fresh set of softs. He is going to be struggling at the end of the race on the last few laps on those softs, but he's going to be right behind Get Carter. Unless Tommy and Get Carter both pit onto softs as well. It's a tough decision. It's all on Tommy Alex. What is he going to do? Pit or no pit?
Well, currently, as it stands, if the race were to finish right now, Tommy Alex would win the championship. He's got everything he needs. He's P2 and the fastest lap at the moment. But this safety car is really going to throw a spanner in the works.
certainly is. LB has caused it. He's going to be mortified that he's had a huge effect on this championship battle, I'm sure. But yeah, that's
Nicholas Latifi effect.
Yes, indeed. Same track as well. Was it? Where did he spin? Was it the same corner as well? I can't. I don't remember where he spun.
Maybe. It was somewhere in Sector 3, I think.
Well, regardless, it's a massive lifeline for Lalo. Pommy is going to be frustrated. The McLaren is into the pits, surely for soft tyres, but what is Pommy going to do? Is he going to stay out? Let's find out. What's he doing? He's into the pits. So, for the soft tyres is the Ferrari. Get Carter has stayed out. Crows are obviously in, of course. JBS Steve, is he going to stay out in that Mercedes? And Tito Man right behind him as well. They are both in for softs. So Get Carter is going to be under a massive amount of pressure. I don't understand that from Get Carter. He's got a 5-second penalty. He could get rid of it by having a pit stop. But he's stayed out. He's kept the penalty and he's going to drop further. So that's a very, very poor decision, I think, from Get Carter. That's going to cost him quite a lot in this race. But Pommy Alex comes out right behind Lalo Mado in P3.
Yeah, it's very strange call from Get Carter there. I think I would have come in, especially to get rid of that 5 seconds. He would have dropped a few places naturally, but he would have had no penalty holding him back, and some fresh tyres as well to fight on. A few drivers opting for the mediums, which is not an unsensible call.
Not at all.
With tyre wear being so poor around here. So it's an interesting mix, and it's Pommy Alex now, and he has to fight Lalo Mado rather than get ahead of him on pit stops.
He does indeed. So it was all looking under control for the Australian to win the title, but suddenly it's all come up and he's going to have to get his fighting mood back in. He has been wonderful at this race, and he's just going to need that little bit more to take this title today. Get Carter is in first place, but with that 5-second penalty and on those hard tyres, I wonder if he's going to come in and realise his error and just cut his losses here, or if he's going to stick to his guns. Coming around the penultimate corner now.
Hitting and Rick are saying L bottle.
Oh, poor LB.
Poor LB. Not even the controller kept himself.
Get Carter has stayed out, so he's stuck to his guns. I really think that's a poor decision from the AlphaTauri, but we'll see how it works for him. Lalo and Pommy on those soft tyres. I'm keeping an eye on the tyre wear, so they lost about 2% on those tyres in that lap under the safety car. Safety car could be in this lap, it might be the next lap, we'll find out. They'll be hoping it's the next lap, but yeah, we'll see what happens. They're not going to have many laps of DRS here. It's a very late safety car, this one.
And it's very it's good that there's no lapped cars having to make their way through the two championship, the two drivers fighting for B1 and 2 at the minute. But we'll use this time ghost actually to make our way back to our season predictions, as we have most polls next. I went with Muhiti, no, you went with Muhiti, and I went with Jamie F1. Do we know the stats on that?
Give me 1 second and I will find out. Standings, where are the standings? Polls. The most polls is Lalo Mado, of course, before we told him to turn off his line. But even today, he's got his line off and he got pole position. So you know, he's been fantastic even with the line off. A bit of a Lawrence kind of affair for him, and he could be a real contender for the championship next season even with his line off. But here we go, safety car in this lap.
In this lap then, so we'll hold off the season predictions at the moment, as Get Carter then will lead us away under the races. I've missed so much of the season, Ghost, I forgot what Lalo Mado's performance was like way back when. But anyway, Get Carter then in that AlphaTauri, warming up those hard tyres. He is going to be a sitting duck on this opening lap, as those softs will get up to temperature much quicker. He's going to leave it very late, I'd imagine. There he goes, he's gone, trying to catch Lado Mato and Pommy Alex asleep. Not going to work, as the McLaren still warming up tyres. Actually really wants to get them up to temperature before the Ferrari does. Maybe that'll slow him down coming in, and he's not going to be able to attack. Jamie F1 makes a place up on Fido Man as they go into turn 1. A better restart for the Mercedes this time, as it looks like Mercedes will clinch third place in the Constructors' Championship. Here goes Fido Man again, looking to go around the outside of turn 5 here. No way through for that Alpine on the medium tyre as SMI spins. He hits the wall with the rear of the car, perhaps some rear wing damage, but he manages to keep it in the race.
No damage for SMI, luckily for him, according to the telemetry anyway. But Lalo Mano hasn't gotten past Get Carter yet. Does this remind you of anything? Old hard tyres versus fresh softs behind in the last stages of Abu Dhabi. Certainly reminds me of something, but Lalo Mado right behind Get Carter. Pommy Alex is sniffing around there as well. It could be down to the fastest lap if Pommy Alex does finish second, but Get Carter is doing a fantastic job to keep these guys behind at the moment.
I think it's too soon to talk about the events of 2021. As SMI is retired, this could be another safety car. Lalo into the wall!
Lalo into the wall, he's lost his front wing. We've got another safety car, so Lalo will be into the pits. Get Carter has stayed out once again. SMI leaves the session, of course, but Pommy Alex is in prime position now. Get Carter has that 5-second penalty. Maybe he thinks he can get it removed in the stewards, but I'm not sure how he'd be able to do that. Pommy Alex in prime position, so it's all about Crozer now, right behind him on the soft. Can the Red Bull do anything to tarnish Pommy Alex's chance at this championship? But Get Carter has the penalty, so he's not really in contention. Another safety car right at the end of this race. Oh my goodness me.
Wow. Another safety car, and I think Mihiti said GG unless Pommy bottles it. He'll be hoping that he does. Although it's been a great championship between the two of them. They started the season fighting with the Alpines of Lawrence and Fido Man, but managed to get that under control and make that battle between themselves. It's a shame Mihiti can't be here for the race, as it would have made it a little more interesting as well, with both championship contenders on the track. And I think it might have been harder for Pommy Alex to win the championship with points deficit at the moment.
Absolutely. Get Carter again, he could be in contention for this race win if he had pitted, because he would have come out maybe just behind Crozer, maybe just ahead of him. No, he definitely would have come out ahead of him, so he could have been on the softs with no penalty right behind Pommy and battling for this race win, but as it stands he's got a penalty on old hard tyres. I just don't understand that decision from him, but there he is in P1 at the moment, and he'll be hoping something happens to the cars behind.
Lawrence into the pit for some fresh softs. There's only 5 likes on the video, 8 of you watching. There were 10 at one point, so if you haven't put a like on the stream, please do so, as this race has been full of action and full of drama, and there's still a few more laps left to go, and we find ourselves under safety car for the 3rd time this
season. We certainly do. It is Get Carter on the hards, and then Pommy and Crozer on the softs. On the podium, does Crozer have a podium yet this season? He does not, so this would be Crozer's first podium of the season if he can hold on to it. JB on the...
That segues very nicely into my next season prediction of most podiums. I said Krauser, who has no podiums, so that one goes to you.
Well, there we go. Jamie and JB letting each other through. I don't think the game is going to let them do that. I'm not sure though. And going through now, JB is in 4th, safety car in this lap, so here we go. We're going to get 3 laps of racing. as the safety car comes round the final sector. It's all about whether when Get Carter punches it, and whether Crozer can do anything to stop Pommy Alex winning the title and maybe get himself a race win. That's what he's going to be thinking of. He doesn't care about the championship, he wants to win the race. So here we go, we're going to get 4 laps of racing. Over to you, Simo.
Yes, here we go then. Get Carter once again leading us around, getting those hard tyres warmed up. He's got a different animal behind him. He's got a prancing horse of the Ferrari now all over the back, and that AlphaTauri has punched it coming out of the final corner now. Everybody gets away well at the moment, coming down towards the first corner. No moves being made at the minute, but look how much Pommy closed on Get Carter there with just the difference of tyres compound.
Absolutely, they're right with each other. Crozer is there as well. He is looking to take this race win. Tito and Jamie swap places further back, but we've got to watch these top 3 as Lala also making progress on Femi Thrustmaster. Pommy Alex right behind this AlphaTauri, but unable to make a move. Get Carter defending really well as Crozer could make a move on the Ferrari. He's going round the outside. Here he goes, late braking from Crozer round the outside. Pommy squeezed into the inside, and Pommy all the way round at the second part of the chicane and retakes second place, but he's lost a gap to Get Carter. Not that that matters at this stage because of the penalty on that AlphaTauri.
Yeah, and there's no DRS as well, so Crozer will have a little less to fight with at the minute, and Pommy will naturally be faster because of the tyre compound difference. Jamie F1 trying to find a way past Femi Thrustmaster at the minute. He's sat in P4, but he's got a time penalty, does the Haas, so he will drop behind these cars. It's all aboard the Femi train as they come through Sector 3 at the moment. And up ahead we have Get Carter, Pommy Alex and Crozer fighting away, but Get Carter in a bit of a hopeless position.
Oh, Jamie nearly into the back of Femi. My goodness me, that was very close indeed. But this Haas definitely holding all these cars up at the moment. He's defending well, but how long is it going to last, I wonder. Pommy Alex right behind Get Carter again. Crozer still sniffing around. We've got a spin. That's Jamie F1 at turn 2. He has gone all the way to the back. He's going to be gutted with that. But Pommy Alex right behind Get Carter, still no DRS at this point, remember, but there's much less battery on that AlphaTauri. Can Pommy Alex do this? But Crozer's going for it again, round the outside, the same corner. Here they go again, these two, Pommy and Crozer at the chicane. Crozer has to go all the way round the outside and loses out for a worse line, but again Pommy has to defend, and Crozer is not going to let him have this championship easily.
Fastest lap is still in the hands of Pommy Alex. It's 1 minute 26.8. There's a lot of action. I couldn't flash it up straight away at the moment. So Pommy, even if he did finish behind Crozer, would still win the championship at this stage of the race at the minute. But there's still a few more laps left to go, and anything can happen. But Pommy Alex is really doing well to keep Crozer behind and stay close enough to Get Carter at the minute. Femi Thrustmaster still in P4 at the moment, and he's got quite the gap now.
DRS enabled. What must be going through Pommy Alex's head? How do you keep your head in this situation? Get Carter with a 3-second time penalty, so just adds to his penalty count, but the 5 seconds was already doing the job, as it were. But Crozer has lost a lot of time in Sector 1 to Pommy. He's still going to have DRS, but he's not going to be close enough for a move. But Pommy Alex is definitely going to be close enough for a move on Get Carter. Here he goes. DRS open. He's not going to make it into this corner, but I think into the next long left-hander. That is where he's thinking of going for it.
Yeah, he's look at how much of a better exit Pommy gets through that first part, but then Get Carter just really punches him on the second part of that chicane at the moment. So Pommy Alex not being able to draw close enough, but he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to pass that AlphaTauri. He just needs to stay in those penalties.
Get Carter deep. Again, different lines through that corner. Get Carter keeps it, but Pommy tried to send it down the inside. Not quite going to happen. Crozer has lost out. Is he going to lose DRS on this lap? I think he might well do. and that could seal it. We're coming on to the last lap now of the championship for Tier 2 Season 5. Pommy Alex is in prime position to take the title. Can he do it? Through the final corner and on to lap 29 of 29.
One last lap then for these drivers to navigate, and Pommy Alex is sat provisionally in the lead at the moment, as those penalties for Get Carter are going to see that AlphaTauri drop way back. Another time penalty for Lawrence. We'll have a quick look at the penalty situation. It's 8 seconds for Get Carter, 3 for Femi, 6 for Lawrence, and 3 for both Lalo Maddo and Jamie F1 towards the back there. So Femi and Lawrence will see themselves drop down, and perhaps Get Carter may not even be on the podium by the time this race comes to an end, depending on how close the others are.
Kroos has lost DRS, so he's not going to be in this battle anymore. Pommy, all he needs to do is stay exactly where he is. He's got the fastest lap as well, but he's going to have the DRS all the way down, but I don't think he's going to try and make this move. All he needs to do is stay here. He wants it on track, of course, but there's no need to do that. Get Carter again taking a different line, and Pommy down the inside. He goes for the race lead. Get Carter hangs it around the outside. They're still side by side. Surely Pommy's not going to risk it. He does. He sends it down the inside. I can't believe this. Get Carter keeps him behind, but Pommy all the way around the outside. He's going to make the move. Is he here? There's a bit of wheel banging. Pommy Alex down the inside of the penultimate corner now. Get Carter still side by side with him. Pommy Alex round the final corner, and he's going to do it.
He's going to win the Tier 2 Championship. Pommy Alex crosses the line, takes it on track as well. Krauser and Fido Man both find themselves on the podium after penalties. JBS Steve comes on in P4, Get Carter P5, Lawrence P6, Lalo Maddo coming across the line after a dismal restart the second time around, crashing across the line for P7. With Femi Frostmaster and Jamie F1 yet to cross the line. But what an incredible race here at Yas Marina with Pommy Alex taking the Tier 2 Championship.
What a drive. That is a champion's drive. And Jamie gets the fastest lap at the end, so he needed that win. He did need it, and he manages to do it. Pommy Alex wins the title by, I've got to work it out, by 2 points from his teammate Muhiti.
Wow. SW says, congrats Pommy, what a season. Muhiti, yeah, incredible season for both of the Ferrari drivers. A Drivers' Championship went out Constructors, but here he is then, our Tier 2 champion, making his way through the tunnel at a newly crowned Tier 2 champion. I'm sure he'll be making his way over to Tier 1 next season, and maybe making some waves over there, but he lifts the trophy in that scarlet red race suit at the moment. What an incredible drive, a champion's drive as well, and one he will look back on with fondness.
Absolutely. What a drive that was. That is probably the finest final race drive for a title I've ever seen in sim racing. That is quite the performance from the Australian, and Pommy Alex wins the race and the Tier 2 Championship. I'll let you go through the standings, Sumo.
And it's a good thing too, he didn't get fastest lap at the end, as Jamie F1 took that with a 25.9. But anyway, Pommy Alex then finishes on the top step. It's not going to matter because he got it on track as well. So Pommy Alex is your new Tier 2 champion and the winner of this race here, with Krauser and Fido Man joining him on the podium. JBS Steve and Get Carter round off the top 5, with Lawrence and Lalo Maddo making up positions 6 and 7. Jamie F1 came home in P8, with Femi Frostmaster P9, with SMI, LB and Mr. J-Man all unfortunately not able to finish this race.
Wow, 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 wow. Pommy Alex, and the absolute, the steel on that man to go for the win. He had no need to overtake Get Carter there. Absolutely no need whatsoever, but he still sent it with a championship on the line on the final lap just to get it on track. Absolutely brilliant. Pommy Alex takes home the title with a absolutely monumental drive from third on the grid. I do not know what else to say, Sumo.
Well, probably Alex, go get yourself a beer or whichever alcoholic beverage tickles your fancy, as that was quite the drive and quite the championship we've had here in Tier 2. We always seem to produce some incredible racing and some incredible seasons as well, and Pommy Alex finds himself up among the likes of Bumblebee, Harass, Tinoz, I'm trying to remember some more. There's one more champion.
Harass, Tinoz, Bumblebee, and
nobody knows.
I should know this. Why do I not know this? Who won? LB, obviously. LB. Of course.
L Bottle.
L Bottle.
Oh dear, wow, what an incredible round of racing. We said it at the beginning, and we say it at the end then. And my Drivers' Championship prediction. I have been the biggest Pommy supporter since the start of Tier 1. I remember all the way back to Belgium when he was leading his first laps and crashed at Al Rouge and Radion. And look at him now, Tier 2 champion.
Wow, what a journey it's been for Pommy Alex. You can't write this stuff. Absolutely brilliant. From 5th place merchant to Tier 2 champion. He has had a fantastic, I don't want to say journey again, I can't think of a different word, in APPF1, and he has finally got a blue star next to his name. What a drive from him, and what a season it has been. 2 points between the 2 title challengers.
Wow, absolutely incredible stuff, and we'll come on to our driver of the day, and I don't think it can go to anybody else but Pommy Alex after watching the way that he drove today.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. There's no competition for driver of the day at all. He gets it without a shadow of a doubt. What a drive. As I said, one of the finest drives I have seen in sim racing. And yeah, wow, incredible stuff, incredible.
Wow, incredible indeed. Well, that is it then. That is the final round of Season 5 for Tier 2 here on APPF1. And what a season it has been, and what a finale we have just had. I want to say a huge thank you to all of our drivers for taking part in this 5th season. A huge congratulations to Muhiti and Pommy Alex as well for rounding off both championships, and a big congratulations to everybody else for their continued attendance. And I very much look forward to seeing how Tier 2 goes forward as we go into the new year. That'll be Tier 2 done now for then until 2023. We've still got the Tier 1 Championship. I don't know if the Championship's over there.
It is.
Or it is over there. But if you want to see some racing anyway, head over to there on Friday. I think, have we still got... what's his name? IG88? Is that the guy?
Yeah, we do. IG8 Live Esports on Twitch.
There we go.
That is what you want to go for Tier 1. There is one race to go. The championship is wrapped up by a certain someone you might know. But yeah, it's going to be a cracker of a race in Abu Dhabi as well. To end off the season, and also don't forget Elite and Sprints on Sundays as well.
Yes.
To keep an eye on them. But yeah, what a season of Tier 2. Keep an eye on other APPF1 affiliates. If you haven't given a like on Sumo Stream yet, what are you doing? Go and do that. And yeah.
Yes, of course, and yeah, like we say, check out all of our Sunday action, the Friday action as well, which will conclude, and also keep an eye out for some Formula 2 cars going around, as I'm sure myself and Ghost and many other of our drivers over the next few weeks will be having a little, not official championship, but a bit of fun in some Formula 2 cars, which should be very, very interesting over the next few days. I may not make every race, I may only make the Tuesdays, but I will endeavour to do so over the next couple of weeks running up to Christmas. But anyway, thank you everybody for watching and supporting us all the way through. It's been 5 incredible seasons of commentating on Tier 2, and it's been an incredible journey for myself and for Ghost as well, who once again I have to give a big thank you to for being my co-commentator and for putting up with me having no internet for 5 weeks as well.
Oh, it's absolutely fine. It's a pleasure to commentate on Tier 2, but obviously with us both in the box, it is a fantastic experience, and I wouldn't have any other co-commentator for a season like that. So thank you to you too, Sumo. I think you deserve a huge amount of thanks as well for all your coverage and commentary alongside me for Tier 2 this season. So thank you, Sumo.
Yes, thank you, very much appreciated. It's been quite the journey indeed. Right then, well, I'm going to stop rambling on, but the last thing I will say is please do go check out Positive Perception Media Design Products. They are our sponsor here in Tier 2 and have been for I think 4 seasons now, maybe 5, I'll have to check that, but please do head over to their socials. They are got some incredible livery designs and have quite the passion for motorsport as well. So if you enjoyed the Tier 2 season, I'm sure you enjoy all the content that those guys have over on their YouTube channel, over on their socials as well. So please go check them out. Please leave a like on the stream if you can, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and go do the same over on Ghost's channel and as many of our APPF1 affiliates as well. But that is going to be it, everybody. I have been Sumo.
I have been Ghost.
And we will see you, well, a few times before the new year, but for Season 6 of the Tier 2 Championship sometime in January 2023. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.